Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as usual, wherever the case may be, because you know how we do, baby. We're international out here. So
That's what I was going
wherever
to
you're
say.
watching this from, yeah. Daps, man. That's my catchphrase, man. I don't just say good evening, or I don't just say good morning,
That's when
because
you know you're global.
no, Liverpool's global, not me.
Liverpool,
I'm just, I'm
both
just
of
in,
you, both of you.
I'm just in small little Luton, around the corner from you. You know how I am, man. Come on, I'm not global at all. But listen, as you can already tell, got a friend today with me, a very
Thanks.
dear, close friend. We've become very good, dear, close friends. We've realised that we're only around the corner from each other. So
Absolutely.
um, we had a nice little bit of brunch the other day, and
We
just
need to
waiting
do
for
it
the.
again.
I'm just waiting for the payback. So do you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
waiting.
You
But
know,
listen,
we need to do a Grizz and Daps dinner date like Saeed and Big Steve did.
oh yeah, wait, don't even go there. Don't even go there. Did you see the bill?
Nah, I didn't, you know. How much was
I
it?
did, innit? Because that's
How
what I
much
look
was it?
for, innit?
How much was
Just the
it?
two, there was three of them, but only two. Like Saeed paid for Steve, and his manager paid for himself. Shout out Steve. Um, £207 for just them two. Whoa. Your reaction's scaring me. Your reaction is telling me that's how you roll.
I mean, listen,
Okay, say no more.
I know that they were. Look, Steve wasn't gonna like let Saeed
Go
lose a
to
bet
a
and
chicken
then
shop.
take him to a chip shop, was he? You know, Steve was like, right then, where can I take you? Steve doesn't
Okay.
drink, and he probably ordered a bottle of champagne just to make Saeed pay for it.
My God. When I saw the bill, I said, yeah, I ain't ever getting into a bet of those levels with these people. But you know what? Actually, I lost a bet with someone as well. Who did I lose? I lost it with someone from the Big Six as well, but I think mine was over money for charity. Yeah, and I did that. I don't mind doing that, but £207 for what was that restaurant? Is it one of those meat? Like what
Yeah, I
was
think
it?
it's
Like
like a Brazilian.
let's eat as much as you can. They come around with the
Yeah, and
meat
they
and
just
all that.
keep coming up with different meats and that. Yeah, and they
Yeah,
come
yeah,
up with
yeah,
some of
yeah.
the meats they come up with are a bit weird,
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
like
I'm a meat
heart.
eater, to be
No,
honest with you, but oh no,
mm.
that's fine. I'm a liver. I'm kidneys and liver. I can do kidneys and
No,
liver. No,
heart.
I can do heart. I can
For
do
real?
heart. Yeah. I can do heart. I just don't like getting into the intestines and all that business.
Black
Yeah,
pudding in them ones.
yeah. Don't
You
go
avoid
there. Don't
them.
go there.
You avoid them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
Well,
go
you
there.
probably
But
would for religion as well. To be fair with you.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know what the ruling is on that. People might tell me in the chat or tell me off, as the case may be. But of course, big up Daps in the building. First time on my channel.
Now, second time, first time me and Steve just before we played each other.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I'm
Late
so
night.
sorry.
Remember, it was like half 11 at
100%.
night or something. Yeah.
100%. People, give a virtual round of applause for Daps in the building. First time on the Grizz Daily,
Thank
though.
you.
So, you know what I mean?
It is.
And as
It
I said,
is.
usually I do this on my own, but today I got a friend. And as I've got a friend who supports Man City, I think it's only good we start from there. Um, how you doing? How you feeling? I mean, I've done the personal how you doing, how you feeling, but from Man City's point of view, um, is your fan base as mental as my fan base? Or are
Yeah.
you lot calmer because you're a good
Well,
team. You've got a
this.
good manager and you've got fucking
But
wealthy
so have you.
owners.
But so, you've got good manager, and you've got. Look. So I've been doing a lot of shows as a host recently, so I'm a bit different because I try and play devil's advocate. So when people are losing their crap over certain things, like over Liverpool, even on a show last night, I'm like, but hold on, don't you trust your manager, right? And like the one thing I'll say on Nunez, for example, is Klopp doesn't get money out of FSG easily, right? It's not like he can go in there and say, "Oh, I need this money for a play," and they're going to go and throw him 80 million, right? He's going to have to have justified that signing, right? And this is when people are saying, "Oh, I'm not really too sure on Nunez." I'm like, listen, Klopp generally doesn't get it wrong. This one in particular, he's had to justify the money more than most other signings that he makes. So Klopp has seen something in Nunez that has made, and he's had to tell the board, this is what Núñez is going to bring to us. And the board have gone, okay, yeah, you've justified it. So for me, Liverpool fans losing their shit over Núñez confuses me a little bit because they trust Klopp. And it's like, and rightly so, you should trust Klopp. So if you trust Klopp, chill out and wait and let's see, because he won't have got that money easy. So as far as the question about our fan base, and I got asked this by someone yesterday, and I think the difference is at the moment is, yes, we do have people in our fan base that I see turn on Ederson. I see turn on Pep even. I see turn on Sterling, right?
Oh, you have the same, yeah?
Oh, we do have them, but they're not content creators yet. But they're not content creators. So it's not...
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Yeah.
Can I say something? And you know me, I'm not about digs and cheap, especially... No. I'm about friendly digs, but I'm not about cheap shots. Yeah. But I think you'll see a rise in content creators the moment you're not as successful. The moment there's a bit of drama and controversy, you will see a rise in controversy, because negativity fucking sells. And I tell you that, and I tell you that as an experienced brother. I'm telling you that. But look, every section, every fans has that. And the bigger you become as well. Another thing, Daps, and this ain't a dig at anyone from anywhere in the world, because we love you all and we respect you all. And without global fan bases, you don't become a global institution.
Yeah.
But you will notice, and I say this to Steve all the time, you will notice the bigger you get and the vaster your fan base expands and expands, it opens up different opinions, views, cultures, styles of thinking, ways of thinking. And that's where it can get a bit messy.
And even things like, the one thing I noticed so far with City is a lot of the criticism that has come on some of our players is coming from people that are absolutely obsessed with the Champions League, right? And it's like everything that, so Ederson's an example, and all they will talk about is individual games in the Champions League and say, if you go and watch that game, and it's like, I hear what you're saying, but we play like 55 games a season and you're calling out, and we win a lot of trophies. You're now calling out one game. Like it's mad. It's mad.
It is mad. It's mad. But listen, forget about all that, man. I'm not about that life. We're all here to talk about how we feeling, how we're going into the season. Man City, what are you telling me? Let's talk about this one for the start. So we won't go back a few days because Gabriel Jesus has gone to Arsenal. I guess he goes with your best wishes. Very similar. Absolutely. He goes with your best wishes, very similar to how we wish Mane, but obviously different levels of legend. How highly do you rank him? Where do you rank him as a not as a Man City legend, but you know where I'm going? For me, I think you're going to feel the effects of no Jesus, because I think he's a fantastic rotation squad player when you need him. Impact. I like him a lot, and you know I do. I've spoken to you about it. How do you feel about that move first?
You know what? It's funny when you say legend, because the one thing I'm beginning to get used to now is I can't throw that word about anymore, because it's like, if I was to talk on one of City's legends, Sean Goater, right? If you actually now look at it, he'll always be a legend to us. But when you look at how good he is compared to the players we have now, so it's kind of like it's getting to a point now with City players where you're right, I can't just call every player that was half decent a legend anymore. With Jesus, I've always been as well. Let me get this clear. I'm very happy that at the end of his City career, he started winning some of the City fans that were doubters over before he left. I always think he's a very similar one to compare to you lot and Bobby Firmino, right? Because if you support a club, you see the work that players put in, and you don't just see the goals and assists, you see everything, right? And the amount of times, even this season,
that's a shout.
Well, they're both like press. Their press from the front is sensational.
What I want to make clear, what I want you to make clear is you don't mean stylistically. You mean in terms of attitude, work rate, desire. Never hear a bad word from them about moaning.
Even when they're being motivated, they don't moan about it. And the thing that I would say on that is a massive point as well is, over the years in the Premier League, if you look at Brazilian players, it's not all successful, right? We know that with Robinho and Joe, and it's not always successful with them. And if they're not playing, some like Richarlison to Tottenham does not make sense, because Richarlison does not start for Tottenham, and I think Richarlison will throw his toys out the pram. Bobby Firmino and Jesus have always been rotated, although maybe earlier on in Bobby's time at Liverpool, not so much, but you never ever hear a bad word from them. And when the manager calls on them, they come in and put a shift in. There's no head down, no nothing. I would say both our managers trust them. They'll bring them in big games out of nowhere, knowing that they will put a shift in. And that's where I mean very similar, not in style of play, but in effort, work rate. Their press, both of them's press is very good, and I think Jesus might surprise some people with his numbers, because I think what will happen is
I don't think he'll surprise the people that understand the game.
True. Yeah,
I genuinely don't think that.
Yeah,
because look at he very rarely started, and I don't know the stats because I'm not a stats man, and I don't know if you know or if anyone in the chat will know. I'd be very shocked if he started 5 games in a row ever. Or maybe a handful of times in his time at Man City. Think about that.
Grizz, if you, I can't tell you all the stats, but I can tell you when he first arrived at City, when he arrived in January, and him, it was Sane, Jesus, Sterling from January. He scored 9 in 11 when he was being played regularly through the middle. After that, he got an injury. Then when he came back, it was always second fiddle to Aguero or playing out wide or rotating a lot. And I think that was a point that you made that's very good. It's not about how many games he started. It's about how many games in a row he started. Because when you're a striker, you need that. You need that consistency and
rhythm,
and then judge him. And I think if he goes to Arsenal, which I presume he's going there because Arteta has promised him you're a starter. And I think with him, with the World Cup in November,
he needs that.
Yeah, and
we'll
see.
It kind of makes sense it definitely makes sense, because I think they couldn't have got a better striker in Europe for where they are in the league, for who they are, and in terms of how much experience and winning mentality this guy brings. So if you take all that into consideration, you can't get anyone better, because if you're Arsenal, who's going to go Arsenal? And I think Arsenal fans, as much as they hate Arteta, they will have to accept this is only because of Arteta, because Jesus ain't getting Arsenal otherwise. But that's done. That's old news. Today's news is, I don't know if it's today's news, actually. I've been out and about. Is this today's? Hopefully I brought up the right one, because if not, I mean, they will say this is old as well. But the man, the godfather himself, Fabrizio Romano, says, Chelsea, well informed on Man City, open to sell Raheem Sterling, and so ready. I should do the accent, innit? And so ready to negotiate opening bid turned down. New proposal coming soon as expected. Personal terms already discussed with Sterling. Tuchel is pushing. Daps, what are you saying about Raheem Sterling? Would you like to keep him? Do you see the sense in letting him go? And then if he is let go, do you see a replacement, or have you got enough firepower within? I know 3-pronged attack question, but that's how I roll.
So I'm glad we're speaking on this. I'm being quite vocal on the Sterling one, in that from all sides, from all 3 sides. Now, from City's side, I think the view is anyone that says, City are disrespecting him, they should try and keep him. City have been trying to offer Sterling a new contract for about a year and a half, right? It's not that we're not trying to negotiate with him. It's just it's very, very, very similar to Mane and Salah at Liverpool. When you're a player and you're hitting a certain age, even if you're happy, and I think Mane and Salah were both happy at Liverpool. Why wouldn't they be? They're winning a lot of trophies. But when you hit a certain age, you want a certain amount of money, right? And if the club you're with aren't offering you that money, I'm not saying straight away you're going, right, I'm off, but you say, right, I'm going to play the field. I'm going to go and see what is out there, right? So I'm not signing that yet. I'm going to go and have a look. While we continue to play and we see what else unveils here, I'm going to go and have a look. Because this is potentially their last big salary in their life, yeah? Because, you hit 32, 33, 34, unless you're you know, Messi, Ronaldo. To be fair, Salah might, to be fair, and you can go somewhere else on crazy money. This might be your last big paycheck, so you have to make it count, right? And I think that's what Sterling's doing. And that's what confuses me. So from City's point of view, I think we want to keep him, but at the same time, we're not willing to offer him, because City always are like, same with Aguero. Well, how much are you going to play? How much do you want? How much is it? We can't put you on the same as Haaland, or we can't put you on the same as De Bruyne, because you're not going to be playing as much as them. So this is what we're going to offer you. If you don't want it, this is the highest we're going to go, right? So he's having a look elsewhere. And I guess with City, same with Jesus, same with Sterling. Generally, we're not a selling club. We buy players, we sweat them out, sweat the asset, get as much out of it, try and keep them 8 to 10 years, then let them go on a free. But with Jesus and Sterling, I think they're thinking, right, you know what? Because of the state of the market at the moment, where everyone needs forwards and the way everyone's paying over the odds for forwards at the moment, you know what? If someone gives us 45, 50 million with a year left on the contract, same as you lot with Mane, okay, why not? That could be 100 million from these two players for players that are only going to be bit part next season. So that's from City's point of view. From Sterling's point of view, I don't believe he'll leave unless Chelsea give him 325 to 350 grand a week, because at the moment he's on 300 grand a week, right? If he stays for one season, he goes on a free, which then means anything that would have been in a transfer fee, half it, quarter it, they'll put that in his pocket, and they'll increase his wage as well. So he's kind of in a good position where he can go, if you want me now, 350, or I'll go next year, and you're going to have to pay me a transfer fee and probably about 325. Also, if he stays and plays alongside Haaland, Sterling could get his numbers up. And this is the key where it doesn't make sense to me for Chelsea, because I'm not going to bring up the stats, but I have brought them up on previous shows. Anyone that wants them, I'll share them with you. Sterling, alongside Aguero, was hitting crazy numbers, goals and assists, like up there with the best in the world numbers.
Yeah.
The minute Aguero left, factually, his numbers have dropped, right? And ask any City player, everyone thinks Sterling's fast, and he is fast, but you don't want Sterling through on a one-on-one, because he'll overthink it and he won't score. You want Sterling finding pockets of space when you've got a number 9 that's dragging defenders all over the place. He'll drop back. That's where his numbers come from. So then I look at Chelsea. They've just got rid of their number 9. The only players I'm seeing them linked with is Sterling, Dembele, Rafinha. They're all wide players. So at the moment, and this all changes if they buy a striker, but if Chelsea don't buy a striker, for me, Sterling, Dembele, Havertz, whoever they choose, with a kind of false 9 will not work, because we've seen it at City. It doesn't work. He doesn't get the numbers unless he has a number 9. So for me at the moment, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not seeing it, and I don't think it will be successful. If he does go, I wish him all the best, and I will never disrespect Sterling. You take Sterling's numbers away, you might take a Premier League or 2 away from City. So we have to respect him all the time, and anyone that disrespects him don't really know ball.
We agree on a lot of stuff there. I'm not going to add to that, because I pretty much agree with you. I definitely don't think he's the profile of player Chelsea need to concentrate, and it seems as like he's their concentration at the moment. Yeah. I get if they were the old Chelsea and Roman was going to spend 300 million and Sterling was one of them, little toys, because he bought toys, right? Then you can imagine, Sterling, why not? But I think I think Chelsea's situation is different. They need fucking experienced players at the back. They need some new fresh legs in midfield, and they need a finisher. Sterling, for me, and Liverpool fans that have been following me for time will know, I have never been the biggest Sterling fan, even though when he was at Liverpool. So this is not from a bitter point of view. The Man City people might think, of course, you're a Liverpool fan, you're going to be bitter about Sterling. The people will correct you and say, Grizz has never been the fan of Sterling that we were. We used to adore Sterling. I never adored Sterling. I think he's a very good player. I think he was one of the most intelligent off-the-ball players I saw at a young age. He's so good in creating chances. He's so good at creating space. He's so strong for his size.
Very strong,
But I don't think he was ever elite because of his finishing, because of his striking
No,
technique.
definitely
He
not.
missed
Oh, it's
chances.
striking technique, bro. Ooh, no,
So,
no
so
way.
exactly. But listen, at the end of the day, he's another one, Daps. I'm glad he's leaving your club because the impact he has on the Pep team. For example, look at the last game. Look at the last game of the season. Sterling comes in,
Came on.
changes.
It's facts. Facts came on and changed
He's
the
a
game as
game
well.
changer. He's a chance creator. He's a chance creator extraordinaire.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what's lacking at Chelsea. That's
No, agreed. 100, and that's the same with me. And I actually think if I was Sterling, I think this is where Sterling's head's a bit all over the place. Is he knows that alongside Haaland, he'll probably thrive again, but he doesn't know how many games he'll get.
He won't get enough
Haaland.
games because I don't see him better than Foden. Look, I'm a massive Foden fan. I think Foden's elite already, and he's fucking only 20 or 21, something like that. What if that? He's elite. I see Mahrez sticking around.
Mahrez is about to be offered a new contract, just a 1 or 2 year extension. Yeah.
So there you go. I see KDB obviously there, of course, but he played false 9. Reluctantly, I see Bernardo Silva staying. I was hoping that he would leave. So. And then you've got the new boys.
Alvarez.
So Alvarez and Haaland.
Who plays wide. Alvarez plays wide as well.
So Raheem's thinking this is World Cup year. I'm already, because I know Raheem Sterling was in my FPL team, and I know how much murder it causes me in it every week when I realize he's not playing. So he's thinking I can't be rotated again and again. I'm one of England's finest attackers. I need to go somewhere where I'm going to be the main man. He's going to be the main man at Chelsea, just like Jesus is going to be the main man at Arsenal. Yeah. And this is the thing that big squads have to deal with at some stage, like the Liverpools, like Man United, like Man City, so Chelsea. You have to deal with big personalities and big players. They want a fresh challenge. It's not always about the money. I don't want to go into the Mane situation because people know Mane's situation wasn't about the money. Mane told us in January, forget the deal. I want a new challenge. It's not about the money. I want a fresh challenge. I want a new challenge. Respect. It was done amicably from both sides. But from your side, people, there's over 220 of you in here. Hit the like button, smash the like button, tap the like button, caress the like button. Do what you want, but just do what you got to do in it to do that like button thing. Please. Thank you. I know I do random times, but
that's spot on. That's spot on. Sorry, if you see me looking down, that's kind of what I'm doing as well.
Yeah. Exactly. But listen, I think Raheem Sterling will be a big loss. I think Jesus will be a big loss. We've spoken about your incomings before. What do you? We know Cucurella is pretty much through the door next.
Yeah.
Happy with that very quickly, because that's one of those signings from Pep where if it works, and he'll become a Zinchenko, who's very useful squad member.
I think it works more than Zinchenko,
See, again, I like Zinchenko.
Oh, so do I. Don't get it twisted. I love Zinchenko. I don't want Zinchenko to go anywhere. See, Zinchenko, I don't think this influences him. He has people come in every summer and he gets linked with other clubs, and he usually turns around and says, I want to stay and fight for my place.
Yeah, but how many left backs you can have? You can have Cancelo, you can have Zinchenko.
So here's the thing, right? Walker, every single season, is dropping. His game time is dropping by about 5 games a season, right?
I've said that before.
It's factual. I've said it in a WhatsApp group with other City fans that Walker's not starting as much. He's taking that little bit longer to recover, and they're like, really? And I said, I haven't done the maths, but I'm just saying. But let me go and look at it. So I went and looked at it and came back and said, there's the stats. So I actually was spot on. It's 4 to 5 games a season less. So the back end of last season, I was kind of saying, I don't think we need a left back. I think we need a right back. However, Cancelo is a right back, right? He's switched to playing left back. So I think Cucurella's coming in to switch Cancelo back to the right back, because Walker is the type of player at his age, and he's very mature, that I think Walker you'll start see holding the bench a lot more, and Cancelo starting, because Walker's the type that when needed, he won't throw his toys out the pram about that. He's 32.
No, he knows his age. He knows his fitness levels.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And that is probably what's going to happen, because you know your team far more than me. So I'm just looking at it from the outside. So I'm not going to tell you more than what you know about your team. But looking from the outside, I would be okay with that as a rival, because I think Cancelo is, along with Robertson, is clearly one of the best left backs in the world, and he plays it totally. He plays your left back role like Trent plays our right back role.
Yeah, he does. You're spot on with that.
Whereas they come in and they don't play overlapping football. They've got the ability to do that because Cancelo is an actual footballer and he aids the way Pep wants to play. So if you're suddenly going to play him there, but this is where I think you're right. I think he is going to switch to the right, and I think you're going to get a naturally left-footed player on the left. The reason, Haaland.
Thank you, Bo. And let me now tag in on that one. And this is where that is spot on. And I don't know if many people, unless there's a load of the Blues have followed me over here, right? We played very differently when Aguero played. So Mendy, don't want to talk on him too much. I'm glad he's left our club. However, Mendy was more of an overlapping fullback, right? That would, one touch, bang, low front post. Mendy only worked when Sergio Aguero was playing. When he wasn't playing, because Mendy's ability to follow a system was dog shit. He'd pop up on the right. I remember the game against Leicester where he popped up on the right, lost the ball wide right and ran back, fouled someone. 4 mistakes in 30 seconds and they scored, all from Mendy. With Cucurella, what you're getting a bit more is a player that's going to hold the width and is going to whip balls in for Haaland. So it's kind of similar with the way Liverpool and City play, where each fullback does a different job. So Walker's a bit of an overlap, whereas Cancelo's more, and even Zinchenko when he plays is a bit more move into the middle and play as a midfielder ultimately. And I think what I'm liking about this summer with the transfers we're bringing in, although there's one I am going to talk on that I'm 50-50 on, is it seems to be giving Pep more options. It's not like for likes. It seems like we've got this player that can do this player that can do that. And I think that might be it. And that's where we move on to Kalvin Phillips. Because I've been really 50-50 on Kalvin Phillips. Because recently, a lot of our signings have been they're not squad players. We did that when we won the first 2 Premier Leagues. Your Rodwells, your Sinclairs, your Fernandos, your Jovicic's that maybe are never really going to start too much. And they're pointless because if they don't start too much and they're just holding the bench and they play in the Carabao Cup, when they do play, they're just not, they're rusty and it don't work. They don't get the system. Recently, we've been buying players that push for first team starts. So when I look at Kalvin Phillips, and admittedly, I don't watch Leeds every game, right? So I don't know everything about Kalvin Phillips and I'm beginning to learn through people I speak with. But when you've got a player like Rodri in a system like Manchester City's, right? I have to look at it and think, does the player coming in honestly believe in himself enough that he is going to push you for a place in the team? And I struggle with that. I think Fernandinho didn't really push Rodri in the last season or two because he's 37 years old, right? And he can't start every single game. Kalvin Phillips is not 37 years old. So is he coming in for the right reasons, right? Or is he coming in ultimately to hold the bench and play a few games? Because if that's the case, I get we need a DM, but maybe we would have been better going for a younger, willing to play second fiddle. Now, hold tight all the City fans that have been pulling me up on this and saying, oh, no, but if you know about Kalvin Phillips, you know that his long ball game is insane. We're going to be changing the way we play because we've got Haaland now. So all of a sudden, I think, okay, if Phillips can spray a long ball and you've got Haaland who loves to run onto a long ball, I see it. But I'm still thinking, so what are we saying? Are we saying Rodri's going to play less and Phillips is going to play more? And I still struggle to see that. So, but I trust my manager, so I believe it will work. But I'm just a bit like, I'm interested to see how Kalvin Phillips is going to work because he must have been told something. He needs to get in the England squad. And he can't be coming to us. Like, it's like if you went and bought a DM that wasn't the type of DM that Liverpool play with, it's like,
I was on 90 minutes this morning and we spoke about Kalvin Phillips and we had the City fan on as well. Shout out to Boovy. He goes and he suggested he might play 40 games or make 40 appearances. Sorry, I don't want to quote him wrong. And I looked at him and I said, I can't see that. And if I do see that, I'll be very encouraged And the
it's off the
reason
bench for 15 minutes to rest Rodri for the last 15
because the
game,
reason
which
for that
brilliant.
is because I think Rodri is the best DM. And yes, I'm a Liverpool fan, and yes, we have Fabinho amongst our ranks. But for me personally, Rodri is the best DM in Europe, and I've said it openly, and people
At the
row with me
moment,
and fight
at
me.
the moment,
No one comes close to him. Okay,
Yeah.
Casemiro comes close, but Rodri for me is the best DM in world football. If Rodri, and I don't think they're going to play as a pair, as a pivot.
no, I can't see that under Pep. Two
Right.
DMs. That's a bit.
So I can't see that. Again, if I do see that, again, I'll be encouraged, because that means Pep has changed his style, and that means Pep is doing something he doesn't need to do, because you're already winning 4 leagues out of 5. But if Kalvin Phillips is playing instead of Rodri, then as a rival and as a Liverpool fan, my eyes will light up, because I think Kalvin Phillips is a very good, simple, functional player, but I don't think he's Man City's level to take you to the next level. But Pep must have a plan for him, and he must have told Kalvin Phillips that plan, because Kalvin Phillips wouldn't risk going to Man City in World Cup here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He's got to play games. He's got a game to play. But
Kalvin Phillips, not a guaranteed starter. So he's, unless you're a nailed on starter, unless you're Harry Kane or madly Harry Maguire for the maddest reason, then you're not nailed on for England necessarily. I mean, I'm not going to start talking about how Trent isn't nailed on, because that's mental. But
we got Daniel Drinkwater in the house, who's got Oxford United badge. Big up Oxford, big up Daniel Drinkwater. How have I disrespected Fabinho by saying someone else is brilliant? Have I, in that sentence, said Fabinho is not brilliant? Have I? Did I say anything bad about Fabinho? I just called Rodri the best in the world. That's not disrespecting the second or third best in the world. There is hundreds and hundreds of DMs in world football, and I've put Fabinho second or third. It's
also as well, it's relevant. Like, I actually got asked the question, currently, who's the best DM, Rodri or Fabinho? And I said, you said currently, right? And they said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. So we're talking right now. We're not talking over the last 5 or anything like that, because it would be a different answer. If we're talking over the last 2, I think it's Rodri. If we increase that to 4, Rodri might even drop out, and it would be a Fabinho conversation. So it's relevant. And then if we move it a bit longer, I mean, Fabinho's unreal. For me, Fabinho and Fernandinho over the last 7-8 years are probably the 2 best DMs. They are the 2 best. Alonso Kante, to be fair, as well, in the Premier League. Full stop.
Jonathan says, I think Pep is planning on using 2 DMs in more big Champions League games. That's a shout. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
That could make sense. That could make sense. Shoaib wants to know, any truth in Otavio rumors? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I saw that.
But the thing is, what's confusing a lot of people is the actual outlet that's reporting it is not a Mickey Mouse outfit or a Mickey Mouse outlet. So, but okay, then I'll rephrase it. As far as I know, like I tweeted yesterday when people were asking me, as far as I know, there's absolutely nothing in it.
And the Godfather's playing it down as well.
It doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's not happening just because I haven't heard of it, but I doubt it. So listen, there's another story of today that I want to talk about. How'd you do this? Bear with me. Whoops.
Not your boy, is it? Is it your boy?
Our boy?
Origi?
Oh, Origi to Milan. Yeah, we know about that. We discussed that to death.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is come on, Grizz. This is here we go. Sven Botman signs his contract to Newcastle player, medical, successfully, blah, blah, blah. 37 million euros fees to Lille. Sven Botman, we were linked with him last season, and he was happy to come, but we obviously didn't go for him. We went for Khanage instead. I think we're very happy with Khanage. Sven Botman, rate this deal. I like the way Newcastle are operating in terms of they're not just going for flashy names up front, because they could easily go in for Neymar, for example. Yeah, no, but for example, that's what
we did.
That's what you lot done. You went for Robinho straight away, bang, bang, bang. Do you know what I mean? So they're doing it differently. They're doing it smartly. Good.
I feel like I agree with you. I think even last summer in January, in January when they first got their money, I liked their business then. They got that one midfielder in that looked like could be a superstar in the future, and then the rest were Premier League experienced players. And it does seem to me like they've learned off of City how our first couple of seasons
And
we
that's
spending
smart.
big. Oh hell yeah, and how we had to do a lot to change our strategy. And United are going through it now. With Man United letting all their players go off on free, and United and Chelsea at the moment, everyone knows they both need a lot of players. And now they're struggling to get things over the line because everyone knows they need a lot of players. Everyone knows they're going to have to pay. Newcastle from early doors are not being taken for that. I've read reports where they're actually saying we're not willing to do this. We're not going to go out here and buy these players. We're going to be clever. We're going to be shrewd. We're going to take our time. I mean, maybe that's to do with the economy nowadays to back them, but with their money, I very much doubt it. I think it's clever. I think they're building steadily, and I expect to see a lot more signings as well. 37 million is not no little signing as well, but it's a clever signing. It's not, like you said, it's not 150 million for Neymar, which they could do very easily.
They could do anything, but I think they've been smart. And I think they already bought brilliantly with Dan Burns from Brighton.
Dan Burns from Brighton, and they got the Villa guy permanently as well, didn't they? Target. Was it Target?
Yeah, Mate Target, left back. So they're buying people that not journeyman,
Premier League experience,
but Premier League experience, solid pros. They're doing their business. I like the way they're working, guys. There's 300 of you in here. Hit a like, continue to hit the like, and don't stop.
Absolutely.
Actually,
it's free.
All you got to do, all you got to do is press it once.
Don't press it twice. Whatever you do.
That's silly me. You know me. I always appreciate the love and support that you're showing. I like that signing.
Yeah,
I think they're doing well. I think they need more. You're right. If they want to get into the battle for top 6, which is realistic, I think for them to go for, not top 4 straight away, but I think top 6 with a couple more signings could be realistic, because we know Gamaraj was a brilliant signing. We know Dan Burns was a good signing. I don't think
Trippier will be back fit, and remember his impact when he landed.
Yeah, I think Wood was just a pure stopgap, just because Callum Wilson was out.
And I think it makes sense when you've got delivery like Trippier. Throw a lump on top. You've got Trippier that can actually put it on a 1p piece. Grab someone like, we've seen it with Zeko, we've seen it with Giroud, we've seen it with you lot, and who was it back in the day? The robot. What's his name?
Crouch.
If you've got, or even Andy Carroll for West Ham. If you've got a lump that you can actually, you put it on his head, they're going to score. It does make sense as a plan B. I don't think Chris Wood is going to be their long-term striker at all. I don't even think Callum Wilson will be. I think they'll bring someone else in, but it's giving them options. I think they're doing it very cleverly up there. With what you said about making top 6, that massively depends on Chelsea and Man United, because those two.
And also, before we get into them, and also Spurs, because it segues into my next news of today.
Okay.
Tottenham are targeting a package deal for both Everton's Richarlison and Anthony Gordon. However, Chelsea are considering rivaling Spurs for Richarlison, who they see as a potential replacement for the disaster that is Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku's gone. Don't think he's coming back, even though he's a loan. Well, actually, disclaimer, I think Lukaku won't come back until Tuchel, or unless Tuchel is sacked.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. 100%, and that's from sources that are close to Chelsea.
Wow. That's why it's been. I hear that.
But Tottenham going for Richarlison and Anthony Gordon. The Richarlison one we knew, that makes sense. A lot of teams are going to be after him. Yeah, no, he's a. Oh mate, I'm a Liverpool fan, innit? So it's like I'm telling you.
I have no reason to dislike the guy, but for some reason, never rated him.
Exactly. But what are you saying? This Gordon one's a bit of a shock. They would not want to lose Gordon because I tell you what, again, an absolute prick. But he's one of those pricks that you want on your side. And you know what?
Yeah.
He calls
probably how I see Robertson, to be fair.
Absolutely. Like
I can't stand Robertson, but he's a fucking baller.
Exactly how we see Silva.
Yeah.
But this kid Gordon gave us a horrible time. He's a good player. Potential is there. I'm telling you, he will get snapped up. And so I see where Conte is going with that, because Conte loves people with speed on transition. Richarlison, though, what do you think? Where does he fit into a Spurs type team?
See, this is a thing with Spurs at the moment, and when this is why I don't believe Jesus ever entertained Spurs, right? And this is where on Richarlison, Rafinha, Gabriel, Jesus, they have a World Cup in November, December, right? And we all know that Brazilians, above the team that they play for, they want to play for their country. That's what means the most to them, by far. This isn't English players. This is Brazilian players. They care about their country. What they're doing right now, people, wherever they're working, even that is work to take money back to their country. Yeah, everything is about their country and their family. And that's where I get why Jesus has chose to go to Arsenal. That's why I think... So a couple of weeks ago, someone said to me, Rafinha to Arsenal's a lot closer than anyone thinks. And a couple of people started challenging that, saying, why would he choose Arsenal? I said, do you know why he'd choose Arsenal? Because he's been linked with Liverpool for 2 years, right? For 2 years. And Liverpool have never put anything on the table and actually gone out and bought other players, which tells you that was all just Liverpool were considering it. And they decided he wasn't what they needed, yeah? Now, if you've been waiting for that deal for 2 years... and the World Cup is coming, and then you start being linked with Barcelona and start being linked here, there, and everywhere. But there's Arsenal going, here's a contract right now, sign it. You will be featuring for us every single game. Maybe that's why Rafinha is paying more attention to Arsenal than some of you lot think he should, because he's bored of sitting around waiting. Prime example with that is Salah and De Bruyne, right? They've both stayed at both clubs for so long because once bitten, twice shy. They both got fucked over by Chelsea and they learned from that. So sometimes players actually, when they're in a good place, they just want to stay there. And I think with Rafinha, that's why he's going to Arsenal. Now, Richarlison, does he honestly believe he's going to start in front of Kane, Son, or
Kulusevski, or how do you say his name?
Kulusevski, I can't pronounce his name. That's why I was waiting for you to say it.
And I said it wrong and you copied me, so we're blind leading the blind.
But ultimately, that's where I'm looking at it, thinking, why would Richarlison? I get why you might want to move away from Everton, definitely, but if you go Tottenham, I don't think you push them three. I don't think you start over them three. Definitely not regularly enough to secure your place for Brazil. If Jesus and Rafinha start firing, because we all know Neymar's going to get a place, and there's probably a few other Brazilians that I can't think of right now that will also get it. So it doesn't make sense to me. And I think the minute he doesn't start playing, toys start getting thrown out the pram.
Oh, he's the opposite of Jesus from that sense. He's the opposite.
Conte won't stand for it. Them two are going to bump heads very quickly. And yeah, it's another one to me that doesn't really make sense. But like I said, maybe that's slightly because I've never rated Richarlison. I've seen him turn it on in a half here or there against. So I've never really seen him do anything against City at all.
Yeah, he's one of those players that, I don't know, flatters to deceive. He's got something about him. I don't know what's his best position. Again, can play wide right. Usually plays off the left. But then obviously when Calvert-Lewin was injured, he played a lot through the middle. Some would say he plays off the striker. That could possibly be seen as off Kane, and then Son left and Kulusevski right. But do they play with 4 attackers? No. Kane doesn't. What's his name? Conte definitely won't entertain 4 attackers, especially if
not when he's going out and buying.
Yeah, wing back. So yeah, I mean, one to keep an eye on, but I don't know. Yes, sir, sends in a super chat. Appreciate the support. He says, Melchor Ruiz, very credible Spanish journalist, says Asensio has an offer from Paul. Thoughts? Again,
Baller.
Nothing that I've heard. Again, that doesn't mean that it's not true, but you've asked my thoughts, and my thoughts are, I don't think we will entertain Asensio, or I don't think there's much into it, especially as I don't know if I should say something now. There's only 310 of you, and I don't know how many likes there is, or save it for a special show. But yeah,
what he's saying is smash the likes and get it up to 350, and he might consider dropping it.
I'm not going to drop it still, but I'm going to give little bastard hints every show until it happens that Liverpool going to break the internet before the season starts. But Daps,
don't make me watch your channel, bro.
What else? 130 likes. Are you lot serious? Are you mad? Like not even halfway. What's going on? Is it Daps?
Must be me.
Normally I get 98% likes.
It must be
like
me,
ratio wise. It can't be, man. Brother looks like Khabib. Like I got people saying I've got Khabib in the building, man, and you lot are disrespecting. But
That's for
anyway,
me.
anyway, what else has happened today? I've been out. What's the other news today? People in the chat. You tell me, people in the chat, what else has been happening?
No,
Because
I
I
haven't
can't be
really
able to
seen.
go through.
I've been having a little look.
So Arsenal, have they done? We've spoken about Rafinha to Arsenal. That makes sense. They're doing bits.
Martinez, apparently they're about to go in with another bid on Martinez, which I think now is time. Obviously, it's great you've gone and got Jesus. Rafinha looks like you need to start strengthening on your defence, Arsenal, because don't get too top heavy. You're doing really good business.
But I don't get that though. I get it. Like they're doing a defensive player, but unless they're playing him left back, is he better than Gabriel? No, in my opinion. They need a right-sided centre back.
They'll be playing. Maybe it's Tierney. They've given up on Tierney.
Yeah, his injury situation.
Injury situation's mad. Maybe that might be it. Because they were after Zinchenko.
Zinchenko makes sense.
Well, you get two positions with him as well. That's a good thing.
Zinchenko makes sense for Arsenal. That would be a smart move. But I can't see City selling two players to Arsenal, even though they love Arsenal.
No, Zinchenko already said he
won't want to go there.
Yeah,
he won't want to go there. But yeah, Arsenal doing bits. Man United.
This is where I start smiling.
I think they're in a mess. So shout out to Zishan. If you don't follow Zishan, you ain't doing it right. Shout out to my boy Zishan. I forgot his Twitter handle, but Zishan United.
I know Zishan.
Shout him out because we done a stream together, and he told me live on the stream that Frankie De Jong will be a Man United player. He told us that. So let's see.
Yeah, he will. He will. I know that from a very good source as well. It's just it's the amount of time it's taken, and it's the worrying thing that they only seem to be able to do one deal at a time.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not worrying to be fair. It can stay like that as long as.
Yeah, I think they're in trouble. You know, Daps. I think they need a lot. I think they need a lot. I think they need some defensive midfielders. Frankie De Jong is not that. He's a progressive ball carrier, playmaker. I think they have that without the form. I think they have. They haven't got that. They need that because Fred and McTominay are nothing like that. But what I meant was, I think there's other priorities in there. I think they need a striker again. I don't rate Martial.
No, stinky
at all.
So
a lot of Man United fans are telling me Rashford is finished. From a young player, footballer's point of view, I hope not, because I actually think there's something there. I just think his priorities have gone way beyond football, and that's sad to see. And I think he's he's not focused on football. He needs to come back to football. Ten Hag is a footballing coach, footballing man, so we bring that back. But I think Man United need 3, minimum 4, 5 players, Daps, and there's not even one through the door.
Do you know the bit that worries me, to be honest? Well, it doesn't. Whenever I say worry, it's like I'm a United fan. It doesn't.
Yeah, but we're talking from football point.
But if I was a United fan, the bit that would worry me the most isn't even the players they're getting. It's everything that's going on right now at Man United is confirming to me that this is unsalvageable until that board goes. I was one saying when they were interviewing Ten Hag, I was saying no, Ten Hag is interviewing them, right? He's asking them. They have to prove to him, because this man is being touted. He's only even going to that interview because Liverpool and City currently have managers that are signing new contracts. Otherwise, he wouldn't even entertain that. He'd wait for Liverpool or City, but he knows that job's not coming up anytime soon. So he's gone to the interview and he's asking Man United, because he knows, like all of us know, that place is in a bad place. So he's asking for reassurances, and the board's fed him a load of bollocks. And I said, now he's going to go away and he's going to do probably going to reach out to Van der Sar, and he's going to ask for some reassurances from some people that he trusts, right? And probably he got them. Probably that's why he signed. If I was Ten Hag right now, and I believe their pre-season started today, he got announced in April. Ralph's been there since November, telling them everything that is wrong with the club. And we hit the transfer window. Well, now we hit pre-season started. No one's come in. They've showed everyone their hand by releasing all the players. So everyone knows they need players. And then even down to little things like the guy they're chasing, your ex-guy, is it Martin or Michael Edwards?
Michael Edwards, yeah. No chance of that happening, by the way.
But he's a genius with transfers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've known, because Ralph's been there since November, if you've known you need that, why are you doing that now? Should have done that 6 months ago, unless you're bringing someone in to handle your transfers next summer. It's everything at the club is a mess. And I think Ten Hag already will be sat there thinking, everything I got promised, what's going on? And so for me, if I'm a United fan, I'm looking at it, and the fact that they can't get one deal over the line yet, right? If I'm a Man United fan, I'm sat looking at this thinking, we're a mess, and this just confirms it. And Ten Hag,
how bad
how long is he going to stand it?
How bad can it get? Because they can't be worse than last season, right? And
Grizz, listen, I've been that guy that for when Man United turned shit, yeah, God bless that day. But when they turn shit, I've always been that guy. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna go too hard on these United fans, because they're gonna bounce back. Give them a season 2. They're too big, too much money. They're gonna bounce back. And then 3 seasons go by, 4 seasons go by, 5, and even last season, start of the season, we were all thinking, you know what? The signs they made, they're going to bounce back. And I found myself doing it again last season. That we're sitting in January, I'm going, nah, they're going to click soon. And I'm thinking, hold on a second. I need to stop. City used to be crap, right? And now look at us, right? So if we can go from that to that, actually, I need to get it in my head, and we all need to get it in our head, that club is in the dirt, yeah? And until those owners leave, I do not believe anything will change, because they're just going to keep giving jobs to the wrong people. And if you give jobs to the wrong people, things don't work. Doesn't matter. One bad egg can take down everything. And that's what's going to happen. I honestly think Ten Hag will end up walking.
I think they've got to give him time. I think he's a very good coach. I think they've got to give him time. They've got no choice but to. I think they've tried the former player route and legend route in terms of Ole. Then they went for an experienced football man who's supposed to be the king of behind the scenes, but gave him a coaching role, which was fucked up. And then when he was supposed to do the behind of the scenes role, they sacked him, or he left, whichever way you want to look at it. So now they've gone to plan C or D, according to my ABC. Plan D, probably. Now they've gone to a young progressive coach, one of the top names out there. And now they're struggling to find an identity of player or profile player. And it's 4 weeks away from the start of the season. Can you see them signing 5 players in 4 weeks? I can't.
I mean, I said to someone the other day, remember how it used to be every now and again? It hasn't been like this for a few years, where clubs would announce like 3-4 players in one go and do a photo shoot. Like I think we did it with Silva, Yaya, Boateng, and Kolarov, I think it was, and people used to do that, where it'd be one photo shoot with all the players, and that could happen. You know what? Ten Hag would have been the right manager for Manchester United when they got in Jose Mourinho. Because at that point,
they had the Jose Mourinho as well, yeah.
At that point, Man United's fan base, let's be clear, not last 10, but before that, for 20 years, Manchester United, maybe even longer than that, was spoiled with winning things with good football, right? When they brought in Jose Mourinho, that was the final nail in the coffin. It was almost saying, you know what, for the sake of winning something, anything, we just need a trophy. We will change everything about our club. And at that point, the fan base still would have accepted someone to come in with a philosophy, with a system to get behind. And when they brought in Mourinho, that was it. For me, that was a nail in the coffin. If 100%. They would have brought in someone like Ten Hag, then they'd probably be back booming now.
And a lot of that money they wasted wouldn't have been wasted as well, because now they're hesitant. So what's happening now is they're trying to be extra careful and clever by trying to show the market that we've learned, by trying to showing agents we ain't getting skinned here.
Yeah.
Yet as a result, they're falling behind.
Yeah.
So they're in a catch. I was going to say I feel for them. I don't fucking feel for them. But it's hilarious. It is hilarious. Yeah. Of course, members get their questions and points across. They get priority. So none of your business was a member shout. None of your business. He says, who's having the better window, Spurs or Arsenal? I think that's a good question. I think Spurs started off brilliantly with the Basuma signing. As far as I know, they've stalled after that. Jed Spencer's not gone through yet.
Jed Spencer. Apparently, that's because Levy's handling the Spence transfer himself.
I still expect that to go through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that will go through.
And they
But
did get the other guy as well, didn't they? The older guy, Perisic, is it?
Perisic. Oh,
Perisic.
of course. Yes, you're spot
That
on.
was
Yeah.
early doors. But
That was
I
early
think
doors.
at the moment it's Arsenal probably.
Now that you've reminded me, Perisic and
It
Bissouma,
makes it more balanced, doesn't it?
it makes more balanced.
Yeah.
I think if they get Rafinha through the door and the Lissandro, is it the Ajax centre back?
Lissandro Martinez.
Lissandro Martinez. If they get them through the door, then obviously Arsenal have gone clear. In terms of the transfer window, I'm not saying that's Arsenal finishing above Spurs, by the way. Can people start doing those ones? Spurs, in my opinion, will finish above. What do you think?
You know what? Because last season I thought Arsenal were going to finish above Spurs and Conte proved me wrong, I'll probably switch and say, I'm going to trust in Conte this season and say, I think Tottenham will finish above Spurs. I still think people are overhyping Tottenham a little bit at the moment, though. I'm hearing one or two Liverpool fans saying they're starting to worry about Tottenham. Liverpool, you don't need to worry about Tottenham. Who the fuck
is saying that? I said, why'd you talk to these people? Who are you talking to? Which Liverpool fans
people, are you? Please smash a like, people.
Yeah, see, he gets me. He does this to me. He gets me worked up. He knows, like fuck Liverpool, man. These fans, man. Anyway, yeah, smash a like, man.
I don't agree with that. I don't think you lot need to be fearing Tottenham for shit.
No, we need to worry about ourselves. Look, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I'm not saying it from an arrogant point of view. Absolutely not. Always be humble. Always be worried about how you're going to improve. Absolutely. I'm not saying sit on your hands and sit on your laurels, but we haven't fucking sat on our hands.
Yeah, no,
we literally haven't. We've just spent 200 million in the last 2.5 windows.
Do you know the bit that I think's mad is on a show the other day, someone said to me, and I don't know if it was in the comments or if it was a content creator, but they said Liverpool and Liverpool's board need to show it wasn't intent, but show
ambition.
Show ambition. And I said, I'm sorry, they've just spent 85 million on a young player, right? So what you're saying about not showing ambition don't make sense to me. Like they were saying, we need to take a risk, show a bit of ambition. I'm like, well, 85 million on Nunez to me is your board showing ambition. I'm sorry, 85 million. That's a lot of money. You can't.
We're not gonna do this chat. It's supposed to be in real. I'm not gonna get into this. We may do it on your show because this is a shout out for your show now. We may chat about this later on because people.
I don't think we should though because of the topic. I don't think we should.
No problem. It's up to you. It's your show,
your
rules.
The show later is about what players need to have a big season, right?
Okay, fair enough.
And for me, Haaland.
But at some point, I will be dragged into that kind of chat, bro. And I'm more than happy to deal with it. People, this has been supposed to be a quick daily roundup show, but we got chatting.
Sorry, Grizz.
No, I'm sorry because I know you got put your daughter to sleep, and so big up yourself. I appreciate you coming on. Of course, people, go make sure you check out Daps's channels. I'm going to put his link in the description to his socials. I keep forgetting to do that. I'm so sorry. But if you go on my Twitter, I've tagged him into the tweet, and then from there you can see all the channels and everything he's on. Make sure you go and check out Never a Foul. I'm going to be making my debut on his channel today, I believe. Yes. What time is it?
10:15. Never a Foul. Yourself, Matisse, Igal, myself, and Ty from Trafford Tunnel. And the topic is what 11 players, one in each position, need to have a strong season this season.
There you go. I didn't even know the agenda. I better do some homework instead of looking like a dickhead when they ask me questions and I ain't got answers or I ain't got a proper footballing answer. But we see what we can do. Make sure you go over and subscribe to Never a Foul. Top quality people. That's the first and most important thing. The content will flow, but when the people are good, that's when you know it's real. So the people are good. I vouch for them. They're my brothers. I've only got to know them recently, but they've grown on me. And I love them to bits. So make sure you go and smash a subscribe and then a like on all their streams. Never a Foul. People, this has been the Daily Grizz Show. Not a problem. This has been the Daily Grizz Show. Hope we've spoken about all the daily topics that you missed out on. And if I've missed out on them, I'm sorry. But until tomorrow, same time, same place. We out of here.